really like Thor: Love and Thunder. I think I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I'll look it up right now, actually. I gave it 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I know there are a lot of people that hated it. Also, a lot of people that don't like Taika Waititi, which I didn't know. I thought a lot of people liked him, but apparently a lot of people dislike him. So yeah, that was surprising to me. I also gotta say, I saw a really good review on it. It was like someone called it Ragnarok Redux, and I feel like that's fair. It was, very similar to Ragnarok. I don't know why people hate it so much. I don't know what you were expecting going into it. Like, I mean, Gore was a phenomenal character. I loved Gore. Christian Bale did not disappoint. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get the hate for it. I understand maybe you were disappointed in some things, like, Lena Headey wasn't shown in it. Her character got cut. The guy who plays Tyrion, Peter Dinklage, his character got cut. And Jeff Goldblum's character got cut. The Collector or whatever. Not the Collector. What the hell is his name? Anyway, those characters got cut, but, I mean, they're like small scenes. I see people like freaking out. I think we just gotta enjoy movies, man. And I honestly might clip this because I'm going to say it right now. Back in the day, I wasn't around. But back in the day, I've talked to multiple people, older people who grew up in the 70s and 80s and whatnot. And back in the day, it was like people enjoyed films more. They enjoyed TV shows. They weren't like critical about everything. I mean, I'm not against being a critic. Obviously, if it's your job, cool. If you want to, throw some criticism in there, I don't mind it. But it's like no one can enjoy anything anymore. Like the whole Phase 4 of the MCU is just trash. Like most of the stuff I see, it's so like negative. And then it's like any movie, like for instance, anytime there's an original movie. So the people that complain, they complain about, all today's TV is just modern day reboots and remakes. I'm not saying you're wrong, but then we get something like, say, I don't know, Spiderhead, right? Original story, is on Netflix. And I thought it was a pretty solid film. Like, it's not the best film ever, but it's pretty solid, and it's got a cool twist and everything. And there's people like downright hate it. And they're like, this is trash. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And then people come out of the Thor theater and they're like, no, it's just straight garbage, man. Like, Thor's trash. Like, Jane Foster's terrible. Like, I'm like, all right. Like, not everything is going to be Endgame or Infinity War or, Civil War, whatever, Winter Soldier. And you got to realize that. Like, I don't know. It's the same people like No Way Home, right? Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home is just fan service. Or like the people that like genuinely didn't give any chance for the Star Wars films at all. Like, I understand they're new. I understand Disney owns them. It kind of freaks some Star Wars fans out. But the trilogy wasn't as bad as people think or people say. Okay, let's be honest here. Most things aren't that bad. If you're giving a movie a 2 out of 10 and it's a top tier movie, it's generating 200 million in the block, the box office in the first weekend. I'm sorry, man. I hate to tell you that your opinion's wrong, but your opinion's wrong. Like, movies aren't 2 out of 10. Okay, I understand you didn't like it, but like when people are like, yeah, this movie that they put $4 or $5 billion into to make it, I understand they did that, but it's trash. Like, no, it's not. Like, I saw people hating on Loki because they had such a big budget. Loki was awesome. That was a great TV series. It's not just MCU, though. It's original stuff. It's people that complain about everything being reboots and remakes, but then bitch and whine and moan as soon as, like, a thing like Spiderhead comes out. Or, something like that, right? Like Chaos Walking, Cherry. Not just to name Tom Holland films, but you get my point, is like 21 Bridges, right? And I just noticed that, is that it's now just, let's hate on everything. Like, even the people that were being negative about the new Halloween film, okay, they're being negative. They were like, it's too much death. Like, he's killing too much. I'm like, he's Michael Myers. Does that dude look like he's gonna hold your hand and sing Kumbaya with you? Like, no. Like, why are you going to see horror and then complaining about too many people dying? Everyone's a critic. I get it. Everyone has an opinion. But, just because you have an opinion doesn't mean, it's like everyone just wants to be so negative now. And, my thought process is that, just talking to people that, not to be mean, but that are older, like older than me, who's 26, is actually seen, like, I see people today, they hate on, like, they'll go back and watch movies to just hate on them. Like a good example for instance, it's called Groundhog Day. And I've seen people on Twitter say, yeah, Groundhog Day sucks. I was like, why does it suck? Like, it's such a great, like, the idea of it is great, and it's filmed well, and it's got good acting, and it's funny. And it's also got a good lesson to it, too. But it's just like, everyone has to be so negative. And when I say everyone, I don't literally mean everyone. But it just does seem like everyone wants, like, the first thing that you want to do when you get home from a movie is tell people how bad it is because it'll make you look cool. And it's not even just that. It's like when you're in the toxic everything sucks community, then you delve into the whole, well, now I got to bully people because they like something different than I do. And that's where I'm not a fan of that. And Happy Death Day, yeah, Julio, Happy Death Day is a freaking banger, okay? That, fantastic. And exactly, they pretty much just took from the Groundhog Day idea, but they made it a horror film, and it's 100% recommend. Yeah, so that was kind of what I wanted to get off my chest, because I've been seeing it a lot, and I'm just like, I'm so tired. I know it'll never go away, but it's like, you know why people just enjoyed it back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, or way further? Because there was no social media. Like, social media is great, and there are things I love about it, but I just do not like how everybody has to have negativity about literally everything. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. I do have my opinions, and I am passionate about certain things. But, I don't think... There is very rarely a moment where I watch a movie or a TV series and I sit there and I get mad. I'm like, this sucks. Like, this is awful. The only time I think I've literally ever hated a movie, like I hated it, was Fantastic Four. And not the older ones. The newest one, 2015, that they decided to greenlight for some reason. I mean... The rule is, like, with my friends, is like, if Jake hates a film, it's bad. Jake doesn't hate anything. I'm like, I mean, hey, I just don't think movies are that bad. I think we focus way too much, like, this is the thing I find funny. It's this whole big thing, the plot was terrible. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, They're going through multiple universes. Like, what do you want? Like, I'm sorry, this isn't going to be a motion picture masterpiece. Like, I'm sorry. It's not the Ten Commandments, okay? But, like, you gotta, I guess, lower the expectations a little bit. Just have some fun, enjoy. Man, the Thor stuff, though. I mean, people coming out of the theater, people on Twitter, people on YouTube. God, I haven't seen one positive review on YouTube aside from Everything Always. Like, everybody on YouTube is hating on this thing. And for what? They just didn't like the comedy? Oh, yeah, Taika Waititi just takes his comedy too far. I mean, I'll agree. At some points, yeah, the comedy is a little ridiculous. Like, that's fair. But I don't see how a movie that has, like, Gore the God Butcher in it, and the way they depict him, I don't see how they missed the mark on him. I don't know. I saw people complaining about Thor's look. It's just to sell children's toys. Okay. You do realize they're a business, right? You do realize by making other costumes or whatever, they're going to sell more toys. That's a smart marketing idea. And it doesn't have anything to do, doesn't hurt the story in any way. I saw people complaining they shouldn't have shown the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're in the movie for like 10 minutes. Why are you mad? Why is everyone so mad? There were people that were mad that certain characters weren't in there. Like, not everything is going to have cameos. I think we've like kind of lost our way. Like, we got so spoiled by the Infinity Saga that now we're not even going to let this whole... Like, Phase 4 is not jumping right into anything. It's taking the time, like right now, with all of the characters that they have gone through and told stories about. Keep in mind, the original cast of the Avengers is pretty much gone. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is not Iron Man anymore. Iron Man does not exist anymore. He is gone. Captain America is now played by Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson. Chris Evans is gone. Natasha Romanoff is not around it. Like, that, do you see where I'm going with this? Like, even Hawkeye. Like, that was the first time we had seen him in a while, Clint Barton. So, my point here is that they're using Phase 4. After spending 10 years on this saga, they're building the next. It's gonna take time. You can't just sit back and watch the Moon Knight 6-episode TV series and learn more about a brand new character that's incredibly intricate. You gotta have your cameos. Everybody's gotta be everybody. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then Miss Marvel, like, you know, all of a sudden finally connects the MCU because you had Moon Knight that really didn't connect that much. And people are complaining about the way it connects. And then you have, like, you know, Falcon Winter Soldier was terrible. It was just about Sam Wilson. Yeah, the story is literally how he becomes Captain America. Also introduces the idea of the Thunderbolts without you realizing it. Like, I don't... What is missed here? Loki was stupid. It's just time traveling and all that. Like, no, Loki is actually probably the most important TV series they've come out with. Maybe WandaVision, but probably Loki. Because Loki was setting up Kang, who is going to be the Thanos of this upcoming saga. So, like, this is what I mean. Like, it's just constant negativity and everything, and, you know, whatever. They did Kingpin wrong. They did this wrong. Why are they doing this? Whatever. Why is there a female Thor? God forbid there's female characters in the MCU. Everyone's a male. Like, all right, guy. Like, I don't know, man. I'm, like, so over the negativity. I just, like, I don't mean to rant the whole show, but it's just, like, I constantly see it, and, like, yeah, I could just let it go, but it's, like, always. Like, why is the first thought when you leave the movie theater, like, I can't wait to tweet about how trash this was and get all these engagements? Or my favorite, I can't wait to go home, go on Twitter, look up Thor Love and Thunder hashtag, and just shit on everyone that likes that film. That's what I can't wait to do. Like, I know I have a full day to go, and I could go fishing, or I could go out and maybe go to the gym, or I could watch a movie, or I could create content. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go out of my way to trash people who like something. Yeah. I'm, as you can see, I'm over it. You want to be negative, fine, but God, can our generation get a little bit better, please? It's the generation where we watch old films to see if they're inappropriate for today's culture. Like, we watch old films, not we, but my generation literally sits there and watches old films to see if they're racist, if they're sexist, if they're homophobic. Like, people are they're going back and watching, like, Ace Ventura to see if it's, like, homophobic or racist or sexist. Like, no one can enjoy anything anymore. And then I mean, can you expect them? The modern day films they're trying to hate on. It's like, oh, well, I ran out of things to hate on. Now I'll just go back and hate on the old stuff. I don't know, man. And who to cancel next? Like, oh, God. I don't know.